players.
Yes, guys, sorry for that pretty weird story, but I was very happy that I was able to get back home from I-48. There was a lot of snow, a lot of hindrances along the way, but I did manage to get home. I'm at home in my nice, cozy, small room, casting StarCraft with medals. We are on GSL Whirlwind, or actually the ESET UK Masters Whirlwind is what this map is called. And in the top right spawn position, playing for CRG, we have Lindzo. He's currently down a game, has to work something out. In the bottom left, we have his opponent playing for FM Esports, which doesn't stand for anything. It is Highgain. Yeah, dropping the knowledge bombs, man. It doesn't really have to be knowledge. Well, it is knowledge, but it doesn't. Yeah,
Anti-knowledge. Anti-knowledge. FM
like
doesn't
knowing
stand
that
for anything.
FM stands for nothing is knowledge too.
It is.
It
It
is.
is indeed. So anyway, in terms of openings, we do have Highgain chucking down the gateway. In the main, nothing too risky there, not going for a fast expansion. Meanwhile, Lindzo, he's got his... He actually went hatch first, which is very, very bold.
It is, but on a map like this, it is highly unlikely for the Protoss player to scout in time to be able to get a forge. You know, usually you go Nexus first, and you need the forge. You get the forge later on, which means that your forge is going to be finishing too late to cannon rush. So by the time they scout you, the Nexus first is already down if they go for a forge build. So on this map, actually, it's alright. Battery first, I wouldn't say it's that big of a risk on this map.
Of all the maps to go for it's not too bad, to be fair, but I've been cannon rushed far too many times on ladder, going hatch first, that it's now just a mental block that if I do it, I curl up in a ball and just GG out knowing I've lost. But if you do get away with it, then it's always good because you got that slightly better production, slightly better economy, and it all looks nice. And what Lindzo's doing is actually trying to apply some pressure on one of the biggest maps. So he's just got to run that Zealot and Stalker over. Gonna take him a while, and
Indeed.
really probably gonna go into a quick mothership core.
Yeah, probably going to be seeing that. I'm surprised it's actually... what is he doing?
He's banking up the gas just in case.
Okay, so it's going to be a very early expansion, considering no mothership core, and I think it's going to be a Stargate follow-up. He has a lot of gas, look at that. He is going to start a sentry.
But he's still got a lot of gas even after that sentry.
Yeah, so it could be a Stargate, could just be a mothership core getting started right now. No, it's going to be another probe.
That was one of those once-in-a-lifetime opportunities for you, Lurlian, where as a caster you could have done it. You could have been like, right now, and then he clicks the button and you would have been like, swag.
Oh,
but no.
this Overlord in the middle of the map medals.
Supply blocking coming.
Yeah, that's actually a really big deal to lose an Overlord this early into the game. Lindzo is not going to be happy about that at all. He's going to have to delay his third base, delay his tech, and he's actually producing 6 Zerglings. He thinks another Mothership Core push is coming his way, but it's just a single Zealot and a single Stalker picking off anything they can.
12 Zerglings are now in production. That is a big, big response to this, thinking that it's the pressure we saw in Game 1. But the trouble for Lindzo is, even though this push is now going to do no damage, he's forced a Spine Crawler, 12 Lings, more than 12 Lings actually, he's forced 16 Zerglings in total. That is 8 drones that never were, all for the cost of 1 Zealot and 1 Stalker who are now going to run away.
Yeah, Lindzo now moves his Overlord in and he sees, oh, you finished the Nexus, you got a Mothership Core defensive setup. Oh man, I made all these Lings and this Spine Crawler for nothing. I made so many Queens, I delayed my tech so much, I'm in a lot of trouble. And I don't know what he is trying to accomplish by moving out with his Zerglings. I think he's, just trying to scare Highgain a little. This is going to do absolutely nothing.
Well, the best thing you can hope for is the Mothership Core gets enough energy for a Photon Overcharge and he forces that, but obviously with so many sentries there, the force fields would stop it anyway, so Lindzo has no choice but to back away. The Stargate is nearly complete. We've got the third base finishing up for Lindzo now behind this as well, so, or rather a quarter done, so that just means that he is okay economically, not in the best spot ever, but Highgain, I'd say, has the slight advantage at the moment.
Yeah, definitely has got the better end of the early game, but Lindzo, of course, not out of it yet at all. He's going to be expanding to his third base, gets 2 evolution chambers down, so is going to be playing double upgrades again. Might see him go Muta again, but it's a little bit too early to really tell just yet.
The Phoenix, they should be able to do a nice bit of damage, actually. Don't you think? Don't you think? There's not many Overlords on the map, to be fair, but the Phoenix have been used very effectively every game so far by Highgain.
Yeah, definitely. Highgain has got some really good Phoenix control, but we've also seen him kind of forget about his Phoenix. When he's battling somewhere else, like battling for his third base, he tends to forget about his Phoenix completely, and they got taken out by like 10 Corruptors in the blink of an eye in the game on Cloud Kingdom. So
that
hopefully
is true.
He's gonna keep them alive. It's so pivotal to keep them alive for a long time. If you kill 5 workers with them and you lose 3 Phoenix in the early game, it's not worth it at all. But if you keep them alive for long and use them in the mid game, they can be so potent.
Especially with the current metagame of just Heart of the Swarm as a whole. It's that constant harassment, that multi-pronged style. Multitasking is rewarded so incredibly much in Heart of the Swarm.
It is. The better you're multitasking, the more you're liking Heart of the Swarm, as a few Zerglings are going to be attacking into the third base, but the Zealot Stalker Sentry army is ready to defend against that, while the Phoenix are trying to take a Queen down, and they will succeed.
And killing a Queen is always good fun times, but there is a spare waiting around, ready in order to come and inject, but every Queen you kill is always a big plus, because if you delay injects, you obviously delay the workers. Some Lings are trying to run through. A lot of force field used there to trap absolutely nothing.
Oh, there's no block! The Zerglings are going to be running into the main base again, and hopefully he's going to focus the probes right now. We've seen Lindzo try and go for the Nexus. One Zealot gets warped in, the probes are getting pulled, and these Zerglings are actually going to get it cleaned up quite nicely, but in the natural, there's more Zerglings going to town on the probes.
Yeah, the probes are taking a bit of damage, but here comes back Highgain's army. He hasn't lost too many workers so far. Lindzo's killed 6 in total, which isn't a massive amount. And in terms of the worker count, 36 to 37 in Lindzo's favour.
Oh, there's now a lot of Phoenix attacking the third base once more, as more Zerglings are going to be attacking the third of Highgain. Another Queen is going to be going down. This is not enough Zerglings to take down anything. Really good force fields going down there by Lindzo, trapping a lot of the Lings, and he's keeping his third base up while he continues to harass at the third base of Lindzo.
Yeah, these harassments from the Phoenix are so potent. We can see only 2 Queens remaining. This is really hurting the Zerg's production, and that's really why we're seeing a macro hatch force quite early on, just to try and get more lava out, to spend the money that he's banking up. Look at the gas. Even though the Spire's nearly finished and there's going to be a lot of mutas, again, you just need the minerals, and currently Lindzo doesn't have them.
No, he does not. He's in a lot of trouble. Currently down by 20 supply. He is once again going for the Spire. Why, Lindzo? Why go for a Spire when there's already this many Phoenix out? I mean, actually, every Protoss goes into 1 or 2 Stargates when they see a Spire going down. That's actually the most common response right now. You can still defend with Blinkstalkers and Storms, but I don't understand why he's going into Spire play when there's already a Stargate out on the field and this many Phoenix flying around. What is he hoping to achieve?
There is a lot of Phoenix, a lot more than in any other game actually, and they're still being produced, which is something Lindzo hadn't had to deal with so far this series. But the Queens are still getting taken down. A Phoenix is going to fall, so the Queen is forced to lift yet again, but there's still so many Phoenix here. Even if you get out a stupid number of mutas, even if you spend all of that gas on 16 Mutalisks, you're not going to be able to engage these Phoenix as long as Highgain's paying attention.
No, he's not, and the Phoenix continue killing off everything they can find. Queens, workers, gas mining workers, of course, prioritized over the normal mortals mining the minerals. Gas income is, of course, going to hurt the Zerg even more. 5 Corruptors now on the way, because he feels like he needs Corruptors to deal with the high Phoenix count, which is, you know, it's weird. What is his main army going to be? Zergling Corruptor with a few Infestors? I don't see it working out.
But the plus side, I suppose, looking at it on the other angle, is that currently Highgain does not have a Robotics Bay. So that means he does not have Colossus yet, which ultimately means that he doesn't have to worry about that Splash No High Templar either. It's going into Sky Toss, and there's a brief window where Corruptors are very good against Sky Toss. It's only once the Void Ray count starts getting really high that they start becoming ineffective.
Yeah, so that's cool. Highgain going to be playing a bit of an unconventional strategy. He's still producing Phoenix, though, 2 at a time. He's really expecting Mutas to be hitting the field anytime soon, but that's not going to be happening. It's going to be Corruptors as the Phoenix are going into the 4th base, and they're killing off pretty much every worker and a single Corruptor. Yeah,
these Phoenix not going to do well against Corruptors, which is why it's quite nice that Lindzo's getting those out. But my concern is that Lindzo's got a very niche, or a very small target window, where he's got to do a lot of damage to Highgain, who's currently had map dominance for a long period of time. But this Ling run by 2/2 Lings are going to be able to do a good amount of damage here. What is Lindzo going to focus? It's just going to be the probes, not going for the Nexus like we saw in Game 1. Photon Overcharge is being used. Those 3 cannons doing some nice damage, but still, all in all, Highgain has still killed more workers.
Yeah, he is going to lose a lot of his Phoenix right now. They get caught off guard by the Corruptors a little bit, and the Phoenix block is going to be reduced to only 6 or 7 right now, as Void Ray production is finally starting up. Highgain realizes, oh wow, you're actually going that heavy into Corruptors and not making any mutas? Okay, just let me get a few Void Rays, and we're going to be evening those odds up in just a second.
3-3 upgrades and Adrenal Glands are coming down for Lindzo, so he's going to have very, very powerful Lings and also Ultras when they hit. But the Ultras are going to have a lot of problems with Void Rays, and this is my concern and why this strategy does have a timing window, because once the Void Ray count starts getting up, the Corruptors get absolutely demolished by Void Rays, especially when Prismatic Alignment's activated.
When Prismatic Alignment gets activated, we're going to see those Corruptors melt in no time. And there's the Ultimate Cavern, of course, coming up, so that's going to be supporting his units as the Phoenix are killing off more and more gas workers at the 4th base. They've killed so many workers this game. 19 workers killed just by the Phoenix alone, I suppose. I don't think any other units made any worker kills.
1 or 2 maybe at most, but the Phoenix have done most of the work. The Corruptors are being very, very effective though, and that means the Phoenix harassment should be put to an end, but the Void Ray count is ever climbing. 4 out on the field, more are in production. We've also got Blink coming down, which is going to help Highgain very, very much against this composition. The first Ultra hitting the field, but as we can see, still a lot of, well, a big supply block currently for Lindzo.
Oh, that's a bit of a shame. He would have definitely loved to get like 6 or 7 Ultras on the production tab, but he can't because he's in a bit of a supply block. Now we're going to see the rest of the Ultralisk come out on the field in a second. A bit of a supply clearing, I think. That took a lot of force field there, Metals, but he does manage to get a handful of Lings there.
Yeah, a handful of Lings will go down. The Lings just really trying to assert some more map dominance, make sure that Lindzo keeps his opponent pinned back so he can get out more units, but Highgain, he's going full Sky Toss. He's got the Fleet Beacon in production, got +1 Protoss air armor on its way, already got +1 air weapons complete, so these Void Rays really do pack a punch. In terms of the air upgrades for Lindzo, he does have +1 flyer attack, but no carapace. 9 Ultras though, they're really going to be helpful for a Zerg player.
Ooh, yeah, that's a lot of Voiders, a lot of Ultras. The first Ultra we saw come out is now in some trouble. Prismatic Alignment does get used, so that's going to give Lindzo a nice opportunity to attack in a little bit. Of course, the cooldown is not too long. It's a minute-long cooldown on that Prismatic Alignment, so he's going to have about 40 seconds where he's going to have a much better chance of winning an engagement with the Protoss army.
Yeah, it's ultimately the sort of thing where you've got to trigger that Prismatic Alignment quite early on, and if you do, you can then push in, but so many Banelings in production, just really this is Lindzo aiming to end the game here and now, or at least take out that 3rd at the very least.
Yeah, he wants to take out some bases at the very least. The Ultras are now pushing in. There's a lot of sentries here. Prismatic Alignment not yet off cooldown. In just 3, 2, 1, he will be able to use that. An Ultralisk burns down, gets another one while trying to retreat. And now Prismatic Alignment is done, and there's a lot of Void Rays here. 6 Void Rays going to be doing a lot of damage. And where is he going to attack next? Lindzo is going to attack into the 4th again.
Now, he should actually be able to get this 4th down, especially with that many Banelings there. They're starting to roll in, deal the damage. The Zealots go straight down. The Sentries die near instantly. The Nexus soaking up a lot of those Banelings, and actually triggering all those Banelings on an undefended Nexus, not the most cost-effective way of using them, but it does mean that Lindzo is now a base up, and so that in itself is quite beneficial. But as we're seeing, the Void Rays doing great damage to these Ultras, will be able to knock a lot of them onto low health, and the Queen count isn't really that high. 8 are out, but they're not with the army. Meanwhile, a push into the 3rd with a lot of Lings. Lurlian, this is good multi-pronged harassment by Lindzo.
Yeah, Lindzo is doing a really good job trying to harass, and he is going for the Nexus once more, and he will be able to get it. Wow, that goes down so quickly to a full surround of the Zerglings. And Highgain is now in some trouble. He misses a few of the force fields, not really able to get every Ling there. There's a lot of Queens in the middle of the map, some Ultralisks, of course, another 7 Corruptors on the production tab. And Highgain, what is he going to do? He is going to re-establish both Nexi. That is so cool. That is so calm and steady. I would have gone for the all-in ages ago when I would have lost like 2 or 3 Nexi.
Meanwhile, the push in the middle is doing some good damage, and I think that this is actually a really good choice. I agree with you. Staying calm, not panicking, just I'll retake the bases. I know I've got a good standing army, and as my Void Ray count gets higher and higher, you're going to struggle more and more to deal with it.
Yeah, that's a good point. Some scouting Phoenix now coming out, wants to see where is he expanding, how is he expanding, and does he have those bases saturated already? Do we have a Broodlord follow-up coming in a second? Do I need to prepare for that? Do we need to get Storms? Do I have Blink? That's a lot of things that Highgain is going to be thinking of, but he already has most of the tech at his disposal, so it doesn't really matter what Lindzo does. He's going to be able to deal with everything. I mean, he already has Storm, has Blink, has Void Rays to deal with the Broodlords. So I think the best bet for Lindzo is to stay on the tech. Maybe add in a few Infestors. That's what I would like to see.
Yeah, a couple of Infestors is always nice with Ultras, but it looks like we're going to have a bit of an engagement here. The Void Rays doing some good damage, but the Corruptors able to deal huge amounts. The Colossi trying to snipe out some of these back units. Transfuses are going down, but just the sheer count of Corruptors is being really beneficial here for Lindzo, who is able to clear out the majority of these Colossi. And now they've all fallen, all the Void Rays are down. Suddenly we actually have Highgain in a little bit of trouble.
Yeah, he definitely is, and now all the air has been taken out. We see the Greater Spire get on the way by Lindzo. That's a really good decision there. Takes out every single Void Ray of the Protoss army, goes into the Broodlords. Such a nice move. Has so many Corruptors left out on the field that can... Ooh, 2 Phoenix here, full energy in the middle of the map. Free pick off from Lindzo if he sees them. No?
No, he's not going to go for them. He doesn't quite spot...
Well, he thinks they're hallucinations.
Yeah, he's probably just like, nah, I won't do it. Meanwhile, Highgain, he's getting down his Dark Shrine, so he wants to get some DT action. There's those Infestors you were requesting earlier, Lindzo. Happy to oblige for you. Also getting the Greater Spire out. Broodlord Infestor. Is this Wings of Liberty all over again?
It looks like it. As we see more Zerglings trying to harass into the third, into the fourth, doing some good damage. They're killing a lot of probes at the fourth, actually. A very late response out of Highgain. 38 workers killed. He's losing so many workers everywhere right now. Highgain is definitely on tilt right now. He did try to expand once again to his third and fourth. You know, he got those bases back up, but he is having a very hard time to... Oh my god, all those probes going down. Oh.
Yeah, that is a lot of probe kills. In total, 60 probes have been killed this game by Lindzo. That, of course, is fantastic for him. And now down to just 33 to the 81 drones. 11 Broodlords morphing. This isn't looking too positive for the Protoss player.
No, to say the least. He's on 120 supply. He's losing Nexi. He's losing a lot of his workers. The Zerglings are still there harassing, killing probes. Now up to 62 workers killed. There's only 36 workers left out on the field for Highgain. Only 115 supplied to the fully maxed out Lindzo, who now has a big amount of Broodlords, has his Infestors, has a lot of Queens for transfusions, and even has some Corruptors left to deal with any kind of possible air threat.
Yeah, I think this is pretty much GG now. There's really very little Highgain can do. Once he sees those Broodlords as well, that's going to really be the nail in the coffin. There's not enough Stalkers to blink under them. The Archons are just going to get completely trapped, and there we go.